Some say it's the ultimate disgrace. Democrats walk out of yesterday's Benghazi hearing just before the parents of the victims testify. We'll give you the answers. Our military panel here to weigh in. That's what they look like. That's who they are.
Bad to the bone.
Leaders behind an internal review about what happened in Benghazi facing tough questions on Capitol Hill about the lack of accountability. The most outrageous moment of the day, well, it was when Democrats left the hearing before one of the victims' family members testified. We're going to hash this out right now with our war panel. Joining us now is retired Army chopper pilot Amber Barno, the CEO for Concerned Veterans for America, Pete Hegseth, and former Navy SEAL Scott Taylor. He's also the chairman of OPSEC, right? Okay, so yesterday, big day, obviously. We saw the photo earlier on and all over the news of the Democrats leaving before the testimony. I would actually to play Patti Smith's testimony for you guys to hear, and then we're going to react to it.
One silly question that I have is, every time I see this on TV, I see these bloody fingerprints crawling down the wall of that Benghazi place, and I keep asking everybody, do those belong to my son?
Charles Woods also spoke. He's the father of Navy SEAL Tyrone Woods, lost also that day. Chilling to hear that. Blood boiling myself. Amber, what's your reaction there? How dare they leave? I think only 2 remained. What's your reaction?
It's absolutely heartbreaking to see that. And it just really shows, I think it's the ultimate form of disrespect. The family members are there to get answers. They have legitimate questions. And having the Democrats get up and leave just really shows that they don't care about the truth. They don't care about the family members, and they don't care about those who were killed in Benghazi. And it really shows that not only was it rude, it was completely disrespectful to the families.
We've heard that before. I mean, Hillary Clinton's original testimony seemed to say, you know, this has been a year, you know, why are we still talking about this? Scott, I see you kind of perking up over there. What's on your mind? Well,
I got to say, I mean, anybody that's certainly served or been around folks who served, or their blood boils. It's profoundly disrespectful that they will walk out, regardless of what the politics are. This is a body that makes decisions to send people into harm's way, and whether you agree or disagree with a grieving family, you better have the respect to listen to what they have to say and answer their questions. You know, some hard questions were actually thrown at Admiral Mike Mullen and then Pickering as well. Are they falling on the sword, Pete, for the higher-ups here?
I don't know that they're falling on the sword, but we gotta look at whether they're actually able to ask the right questions of the right people. You've got non-disclosure agreements signed across the board. Were they really talking to the people who knew exactly what was happening and were capable of fully exposing and talk about what happened? This is all about a lack of accountability from day one. And what you saw at this hearing was we're still not asking the right questions about what happened, when, and why, and most certainly about why afterwards continually lied about. Families were not told what actually happened, and everyone who was directly involved has been told to sit down and stay quiet. Exactly. And that's why this has stayed as pertinent as it has been, because there has been no accountability, and here we are.
No, and in fact, Isa asked about that, and we have that here for you as well.
We gave 4 names to the Secretary of State that we believed were failing in their senior leadership and management responsibilities.
So it's your testimony today that something should have happened. They should not be on the job, not having lost a day's pay.
We made recommendations that 2 of those people removed from their job.
So people should have been fired that have not been fired.
Fired is a discipline. It is a different set of circumstances. I cannot respond
so accountability
for the Secretary of State and what he or she has.
But wouldn't you agree there was no accountability?
No, there was accountability.
On a point of order?
And we identified it.
I mean, certainly a fiery exchange there, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, no firing. It's a new F word.
Yep.
And now we have like a rubber room situation here instead of true accountability.
Well, that's a federal government employee aspect, too. It's almost impossible to fire a federal employee. State Department, Department of Veterans Affairs, where you've seen backlog problems, no one ever gets fired. They get shuffled around and moved around. So there is no actual accountability. So these cultures don't create an environment where leaders can hold people accountable.
Exactly. I mean, do you think, though, that a select committee will get more answers than what we're hearing here now?
I think so, 100%. I mean, you have several committees out there doing the investigation that are somewhat disjointed. We need to have a select committee to come together. Obviously, there was a failure before, during, and after, and of course, the not sending in troops to rescue folks that are in harm's way goes against the very fabric of this society, and it's just a tragedy, and we need to get answers and accountability, and we should have a targeted select committee that's doing so.
Amber, what's your reaction here too, and what are your thoughts to even Hillary Clinton, who kind of has a let's get over this here, you know, let's move on?
Well, absolutely. She needs to be called in to testify. I think it will make a difference. Benghazi happened on her watch. It was ultimately, she was the leader of the State Department at that time. She needs to answer questions to Congress, to the family members of those who were killed, and to the American people.
She was given a heads up, apparently, right on the report. So did she get a special pass, hall pass for Clinton?
Yeah, it certainly seems so, but I think that we all deserve as Americans to see it come from her mouth, why she continued to lie about a YouTube video, that she chose to make those decisions.
Right. And Elizabeth, this is us in Benghazi. This is our ambassador, our representative, our soil. And for it to be dismissed and backhanded and walking out on hearings of those we've lost, full investigation with select committees not happen, is an abdication of leadership and responsibility, and sends every signal to the world of a weakened, equivocal America, and that's why what you see in all of our foreign policy.
There's no greater red line that's drawn in sand with blood than an attack on American soil and the killing of our presidential surrogate to that country.
Scott, well said. You know, Amber and Pete, we appreciate you all being here, and now I'm afraid of you later on in our challenge.
We're going at it.
Hey, still ahead.